Alright guys, a little video here for the bass drums. Just talking with you guys on how to break down your parts and really look at some of the most intense parts of the show and getting your mind around how to play them. Right out of the gate, I said with you guys, some of the most important parts of bass drumming is knowing what the overall part is and then also understanding how to break out your part and practice that independently, and that is always going to hold true. And there are a lot of really cool, interesting, fun, and it goes without saying, difficult to learn parts of the show that I think that you guys maybe could use a little bit of guidance on, especially the freshmen, Maggie and Mario, like trying to figure this out. So what I've done is I've picked out a measure that I had actually put together in Bohemian Rhapsody. It's from the part, I can't even remember what measure number it is, but if you think of the lyrics, thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening, this is the very, very frightening measure. And it's basically a massive sextuplet split, which is going to come in super, super fast. It's going to sound like an open roll. I mean, we're playing at 160 beats per minute. So, when you think about playing that on a single drum, we've got thunderbolts and lightning. All right, and that's going to be split between those drums, and this is what it looks like. So just massive insanity. Now the parts I have written are the three bass parts. We've got Maggie on the top bass, so she doesn't start playing basically into the upbeat of beat 3. You've got Mario on the second bass, which he's playing basically all throughout. And then we've got Veronica on the third bass, which is the lower end. And I didn't include Wes's part on this because actually this is a very easy measure for Wes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So I just omitted that. Wes has you've got other spots that you want to take a look at. But Wes, I hope you listen to this whole spiel so you have an idea how to attack some of your other parts. So looking at this, you're like, oh my God, insane, in just total fast, crazy insanity. How am I ever going to work on this? Well, first thing that we ought to do is start looking down, like what actually breaks up this measure here, because everything is played right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, all the way through this entire measure. So really, your right hand is leading the whole deal. So if I were to take those 16th notes out and just focus on what the rights look like, here's the rights. It's essentially a triplet piece. So triplet, triplet, trip, and that's 3. So 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1. And that's what it builds up to. Oh my gosh, well this is still really, really crazy. So it's going to be this 16th note thing when 16th note triplet deal when it finally sounds like this is the constituent of that, the breakdown, it's a triplet bass. But let's break it down just a little bit further. And in this case, I am just going to look at the interplay of the bottom bass drum, which is Veronica's part. So as you can see, I've broken it down even more, and I've strategically removed the time signature. So Veronica's part, when we're following just the right hand, is rest, beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, beat. Okay? And this is the first half of the measure, but Maggie, yours is exactly the same. It just comes in on the second half of the measure. So Maggie's part is exactly the same. Rest, beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, beat. So at this point, what you're seeing is we've done away with the time signature. We've done away with all the madness of this, and we're just getting down to what we're playing in terms of stroke. Rest, beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, beat. So if I were to play this with my right hand, 1, 2, ready, and go, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So let me get my hands involved in this, and I'll put this on here so you guys can actually see it. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. All right. So once you get that, you can start speeding it up. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, ready, and go, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And you practice that over and over just with the right hand only. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4 until you get that real feeling for how that upbeat is supposed to go. Okay, again, don't worry about time signature. Just get down to the basics. Rest, beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, beat. Okay, And then, it keeps on climbing faster and faster, but the more familiar you get with that 1 and 2 and 2, the more you're going to find that you're going to get into that groove very quickly. So this is not the sort of thing where you start out with, where did it go? This crazy, you don't start out with that. No, you break it down and you find what's the absolute bare bottom. Okay, so once you have that figure out, 1 right, 2 right, 3 and right, all those rights there. Now what we can start doing is bringing in some 16th notes. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Make sure you hold that sticking. 1 right left, 1 right left, 1 right left right. Okay, and then you start building it up. So remember that constituent beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Now we start building up faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So now what we're doing is we're just like building that groove, that muscle memory for really banging it in there. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 2. Okay, and now faster and faster. 1 and 2. So you keep on building that up more and more, so you don't have to get freaked out with this. You're just chunking it down with this. All right. So once you have that all set up, at that point, it's just getting with the group and playing along. And to paraphrase a saying that I once heard, just ride the squig. Because if you don't understand your muscle memory coming into all this and how it is, there's no way you're going to learn it on the fly. But if you make the effort to learn what this constituent part is, then when you join the group, you're like, okay, I know what it is. I know what it's supposed to be. I know what it's supposed to sound like. I know how my hands are going to flow. I actually feel how my hands are going to flow. At this point, it's just working with the team to key it all together. Basically, you just jump in and you ride the squig. Now, last but not least, and I'm actually going to draw this out. Okay, we got one guy in the middle, Mario, who's riding all this. Well, I'll tell you what. We started out, Mario, you've got this going on, but where are your parts right here? 1, Li, La, 2, Li, La, and then 3. So it's, alright, I'm sorry. 1, Li, La, 3, Li, La, 1. So really all you're playing, brah, is quarter note triplets on the right hand. And then we'll do it again for the second half of the measure. Which ironically is exactly like your short, long warm-up. So bear that in mind. 1, Li, La, 3, Li, La. That's it. 1, La, 3, Li, La, 1. You're done. 1, Li, La, 3, Li, La, 1. All you have to do is work it up into the tempo. So it's pretty straightforward, okay? So that's what I'm talking about in like trying to find your part and finding how your part fits in. So hopefully this makes sense like this. It was kind of awkward for me drawing it out like that. But work on that measure and then start carrying that principle forward to other measures that may seem difficult and confusing. The challenge with bass drum is not really being incredibly choppy, which even our choppiest measures, as they were, are not like hugely demanding from a strength standpoint. But what they do demand is that you have a really good understanding of where you're at in the drum line, where you're at with your timing, and having a really good control over your own hands. So bass drum is a very difficult instrument. It's a very important instrument to play. But people that are really good at the bass drum are hugely talented, and they make a huge difference on the band. And even if you view for yourself, Mario and Maggie, somewhere down the line that maybe you want to move on to a different instrument, the principles that you're going to learn here for timing and control are transferable to any other instrument out there. So that's my rant for the day. If you have any questions, post it on Facebook, and see you on Wednesday. Bye.